Hello everyone, this is Jasmeet Bhatia from Landmark Global Learning Limited, and today we have Miss Clara from Canada itself, and she is representing Medicine Hat College, which is a public college in Alberta. So thank you, Clara, for taking out time for this live session so that we can give some important information to students and their parents. So we welcome you to our live session.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. So, Clara, my first question will be, so right now the situation in Canada is improving and there is a lot of positive news coming from Canada. Mark Carney visited India and there was a whole team of, education panelists and ministers and education, presidents of colleges and universities visited India, trying to build up a relationship in India. So things are looking really positive for the future, I feel so. So what is your take on that, that how soon Canada will come back to a normal situation where students will apply and get their approval rates?
Oh, I think it's getting better, way better than a couple of months ago. So just letting you know that for this past couple of days, I've received emails from colleagues letting me know that the students are receiving their study permits.
Yeah.
Which is great. In the past, they had to wait for a long time. So nowadays, the process is way faster than before. They would get a study permit within 3 weeks, and also the approval rate has increased tremendously. So I'm very happy with that, with those changes.
Yeah. So I feel like you're saying that there are a lot of results are coming very, very soon. The results is the turnaround time for the result is soon, and there is an increase in uh, visa success rate as per your latest update. So that's really, really
That
good
is
news. Now coming back to Medicine Hat College, I know it is very, very strategic location and it is in Alberta. So tell us something more about, Medicine Hat College, about the location, about the history of the college.
okay. So Medicine Hat College is a public institution. We are located in the city of Medicine Hat, which is about 2.5 hours drive from Calgary, about 5 hours drive from Edmonton. Medicine Hat is a city, so it is quite a big population. Currently, we have about 80,000 people living in Medicine Hat. So there's a lot of programs that we do offer to international students, and also the fact that it is a very lovely place to live, is considered as the sunniest city in Canada. So even though it is still in Alberta, as Alberta can go pretty cold to about minus 30 degrees during winter, but because we are quite sunny, you don't really feel it, compared to other cities that are quite gloomy, right? So it's a really nice place to live. I've lived in Medicine Hat now for about 10 years with my family, so I think is a really nice place to raise a family, and a very safe place as well.
That's great. That's great. So, what are the key programs? So, since Medicine Hat College is a public college, having I think close to 60 years of legacy, I think so. It's more than 60 years old college. So, what are the key programs which you suggest to the students to choose from?
Mhm. So some of the programs, the popular programs that Medicine Hat College offer to international students are healthcare aid, practical nursing, early childhood education. So those programs are very popular because the chances of the students getting a full-time job after they graduate is very high. I would just say for those programs, the students will be able to get a job within a couple of months. We do have other programs as well that are eligible for international students, such as information technology, pharmacy technician, and those programs are eligible for postgraduate work permits. So I understand students know about postgraduate work permit, where you study for 2 years, you will be able to get up to 3 years work permit, and you can work anywhere in Canada for up to 3 years.
So I have a question. Like, student has done practical nursing program for 1 year in one of the college, and he says he's completed his 1 year, but was not able to do practical nursing, complete his practical nursing from that college, and if he can have his credit transferred to your college, like he's completed 1 year from another college in Alberta, and he was not able to complete his practical nursing in that college, can he do credit transfer from that college to your college?
So for credit transfer, the first thing the student needs to do is to apply to Medicine Hat College, right? And then admission will look at his transcript, and if he's admissible, then the student will receive an offer. As soon as he receives an offer, then he can request for the credit transfer. So admission will sort of calculate and see which courses are transferable to Medicine Hat College. So first thing they need to do is to apply first. And then also the good thing is we currently offer application fee waivers for international students. So if you are still deciding whether to apply, at least with the application fee waiver, you don't have to pay the $125. And then so we can just assess your transcript for free.
Yeah, so see, I think the process is same for all the colleges. So Ishu Sharma, if you like have done, some of the credits in other college, you need to get an offer letter for that college, and you need to start, the process. And then the college will assess how much you have studied in the previous college and accordingly give you credit transfer. Before starting the process, you cannot, we cannot assess your credit transfer. Am I right, Clara? This is the process, I think so.
Yes, that is correct. That's the process, yes.
Yeah, so there's another question, that is math required for practical nursing in Medicine Hat College right now?
Yes, we do. We do require math for practical nursing.
So do you need 10th class standard maths or 12th class standard maths?
12 standard math, grade 12.
So you need 12 standard maths. And what is the IELTS requirement for practical nursing?
Yeah, so practical nursing is one of our competitive program. Even though the requirement is say math 60% grade 12 math, but then because it's competitive, admission is looking at the strongest transcript. So at this moment, I would recommend students who have strong grades, such as more than 80% average.
So 80% marks and 7 bands, close to 7 bands of IELTS exam.
Yes, 80% in grade
preferred,
12.
Preferred requirement for to get an admission into a practical nursing program. So do you have any bachelor degrees? Is the Medicine Hat College offering any bachelor degrees? I don't think so. There's a question.
So currently we have a Bachelor of Applied Arts, Art and Design, which is a 3-year program. And we do have 2 university transfer program, Bachelor of Education, which is with Montreal University, and university transfer with for Bachelor of Nursing with U of C, University of Calgary. So it means that the students will do 2 + 2, 2 years with Medicine Hat College, and then they transfer to either University of Calgary or Montreal University. But physically, these students will still stay in Medicine Hat, so they don't have to move to Calgary, but they will get a certification from those universities.
Definitely. So they have a bachelor's in applied arts, and you can apply for it. So there's another question from Baljeet Kaur. Is 12th commerce IELTS? She's 12th commerce without maths, and she has. There's a question. There was a snag in between. So there's a question for from Baljeet Kaur that she's 12th commerce and IELTS is 6.5 bands, and she doesn't have maths. So which program she can apply to?
So there's a lot of programs that do not require math. For example, healthcare aid, we only require English grade 12. Early childhood education, we only require grade 12 English. Bachelor of Applied Arts, grade 12 English. So there's a lot of options for the students if they don't have math.
So a lot of options we have if you do not have math, and there are a lot of programs you can apply for. So what are the admission requirements for onshore student? Is there an IELTS waiver for onshore students?
Well, so long as their study permit is the IELTS is still valid, they can definitely use the ones that they have now. Or we do accept Duolingo as well. I know that a lot of students would prefer Duolingo because it's more affordable and it's faster as well, the turnaround time to get the results, and we accept those. And for onshore student, we require their transcript from their previous institution, as well as their current study permit. So the thing is, we just want to make sure that the student studied at their previous institution, just to make sure that the chances of them getting a study permit is high, because we realize that for this past couple of months, if students transfer from another institution and they didn't study full-time continuously, the chances of them getting a study permit is low. So that's why we want to make sure that the students are genuine students and they were studying continuously previously.
But right now, see, I want to know, like, commerce students can take admission into a lot of programs which they don't have to study maths. But which programs they will get postgraduate work permit? So normally, see, they can do business diploma, but there is no work permit in business diploma. So which programs they should do? Commerce student can take up in which they get postgraduate work permit.
So we have a lot of programs available for international students that are PGWP eligible. We do have the program chart. This is the program chart, and you can actually see it on the website. So on the web that are PGWP eligible, and it will be in bold. So just giving an example, such as addictions counseling, PGWP eligible, Bachelor of Applied Arts, child and youth care counselor, early childhood education, healthcare aid, IT, kinesiology, occupational therapy, pharmacy technician, practical nurse diploma, service dog and canine studies, social work diploma, sustainable innovation, Bachelor of Education, and Bachelor of Nursing. So those are the programs that are eligible for PGWP at Medicine Hat College.
So definitely, Baljeet, if you take business diploma, there will be no PGWP, but we can find a program which will lead to a postgraduate work permit program. So, Ishu Sharma, it's not possible for a student who doesn't have a 12th standard maths to take admission in Medicine Hat College. So definitely, but if he's an onshore student and has done 1 year in another Alberta college,
12 math.
If he's an onshore student, Clara, and he has done 1 year practical nursing in another college in Alberta, then can he take up practical nursing in your college? He doesn't have 12th maths, but he doesn't have 12th maths.
So what happens is usually admission will look at the courses that he took previously. So maybe he took some sort of like basic math or something that was required, then they would be waived. So it depends on the transcript that they had from their previous institution.
So let's try issue. Let's get your documents, and there is an application fee waiver, and let your application get assessed. So definitely issue, we can get your application assessed. So what is the tuition fees for all the programs in Medicine Hat College? Is there a different fees for different programs, or is the same fees for every program?
So there are differences in tuition fees for each program. Practical nursing is one of the popular programs. I would say practical nurse is at the moment $21,000 for a year, and it's a 2-year program. Early childhood education is $15,000. That is one of our popular programs. It's popular because students will be able to get a job after they graduate. It's easy for them to get a job. Healthcare aid is also very popular. Currently, the price is $17,972. It is an 8-month program, so it means that the students will be able to get 8-month PGWP when they complete the program.
Yeah. So what is the percentage requirement in math or core subjects? So Parul, we already discussed for practical nursing is 80%, But for other programs, it will be 50%, Clara?
Yes, it depends on the programs, but usually it's about 50 to 60%.
Yeah. Okay, so so if a student is having 50 to 60%, he can apply to any other program. But for practical nursing, let's take it at 80%. So any
Yes.
scholarships available for students who are looking forward to apply in medicine at college? But it seems that the fees is right now is affordable as compared to other colleges. It is $15,000 to $16,000. Fees is quite affordable. So any
So at the
scholarship
moment,
for
we do not.
Hmm.
So at the moment, we do not offer scholarships, but then students are able to apply for their scholarship on the second year. So we don't have entrance scholarship, but they can definitely apply for a scholarship on their second year.
So first year students are not eligible for any scholarship, but the fees remains really low for the students. And from second year they can definitely apply for a scholarship for their programs. So we discussed about location, we discussed about legacy, we discussed about tuition fees, which is kind of very affordable. Scholarship we have discussed about. So see, Clara, this very important thing, like when the student arrives in Canada, he needs little academic and personal support. So what kind of support the college is offering to international students, especially in the first year of their studies?
So we do offer orientation. So when the student arrives at Medicine Hat College, it is compulsory for them to participate in orientation. We will take them on a tour of the campus as well as to the city as well, around the city. And we do have a lot of activities for international students. We usually take them curling, skating even during the winter period, or even to Calgary for a day. And then we do assist them with if they have any issues with their academic. We do have an academic advisor. We do have immigration advisors as well. So if they have any questions about extending their study permit, for example, or they want to know more about the co-op work permit, we'll be able to help them out for free of charge.
Great. So, and then see, right now, there are few things like students when they pass out from your institute. Does the institute engage with employees and industry partners to ensure that the academic programs stay relevant to the needs of modern space, like they're relevant to what is required in the industry right now?
Yes, definitely. Especially the fact that most of our programs offer practicum. So some are paid, some are unpaid, but definitely the students will be able to get through understand the industry as well, and knowing people within the industry. So especially like practical nursing, early learning childcare. So no problem whatsoever. We will be able to support the students. And if they are looking for, say, part-time jobs during the semester, we do have people who are able to assist them as well. So just letting you know, for part-time jobs, usually what happens if in a smaller city, the chances of them getting part-time job is actually higher. So if they live in bigger cities such as Edmonton or Calgary, usually it's very competitive. So it'll take them a couple of maybe months to finally get a part-time job, whereas in Medicine Hat, it actually takes them about a month or so. So, if they want that system, if they want a part-time job to support their studies, then definitely Medicine Hat is an option.
So definitely, see, small city is a better environment for the students. They save a lot on accommodation cost. They save a lot of time on traveling also. And they save a lot of, they get connected to the small city environment very well as compared to a big city environment. So
Right. That's
definitely,
right.
there are a lot of jobs available in a smaller city than a bigger city. I agree with you. So with so many options available in the market, what are the top three factors which make Medicine Hat College a preferred choice for the students?
I think it's the one, affordability. Living cost is low compared to bigger cities. The tuition fee is low as well. And then because it's a smaller city, you don't have to commute too far. from one end to the next. And then we do have residents on site as well, and it's very affordable for the international students. You can just walk 5 minutes to the residence and from the residence to campus. And also the fact that, like I mentioned, there's a lot of part-time job opportunities there as well, and it's not too far from the bigger cities. Because a lot of the students, they would rather save up money during the week, and maybe during a long weekend they would go to Calgary, and it only takes about 2.5 hours, so it's not too far at all. So if your aim is to save up money and living in a very safe and convenient location, that's I would recommend Medicine Hat for sure.
Yeah, so it's very, and how far it is from Edmonton?
From Edmonton is about 5 hours by driving.
So Edmonton is 5 hours and Calgary is 2.5 hours. And how far is Banff? Because that's a beautiful location where every student wants to visit.
So Banff is about 3.5 hours.
That's close, not that bad. So students
That's
it's very, very close to major locations, major attractions also, major cities also. So if you want to live in Medicine Hat and visit somebody in Calgary or Edmonton, it is very, very feasible. And affordability and low cost of accommodation makes it a very, very strong point for students to choose Medicine Hat College. And it is the only college in that area. So Medicine Hat has only one college. And Alberta as a province is, I think, so there are lower income tax rates also in Alberta, and a lot of people choose Alberta for that reasons also. And it's one of the richest province in the country, because there's a lot of oil, mining in, I think so, in Alberta. So I feel Alberta is a big choice, for a lot of students who are looking at studying in Canada. So right now, there are a lot of things which students are looking at, and they are very, very confused in how to choose the country. Why is the right time that students should choose Canada as their study destination?
Reason is because I believe that Canada is a safe country. It's very safe, and also the fact that the PGWP opportunity, they will be able, because this is what I've heard, especially during social media. On the social media, there's a lot of misconception saying that Canada is now closed. They're not providing postgraduate work permit. That is incorrect. So Canada is still open for international students. And we do still offer postgraduate work permit. So there are some programs that are no longer PGWP eligible, but there are many, many more PGWP eligible. So it is still open for international students for sure.
Yeah, so there are a lot of news going around, and people like to watch the social media and they get confused. So they should visit,
That's
the
right.
right consultants. They should visit right consultants. So it is our effort. That is why we are connecting to all the colleges in Canada, UK, New Zealand, and connecting them direct with the students itself, to make sure that their doubts are clear. So right now, Landmark has more than 15 branches across India, and you can visit any of our nearest branch. And there is an application fee waiver given by Medicine Hat College, and we don't charge any processing fees. So, and I'll tell you, you should not pay any processing fees to any consultant while you're applying for study visa to any country. So we directly represent Medicine Hat College for many, many years. So there's also a question that Landmark sent his brother in 2023 to Medicine Hat College. And right now he is also waiting for his 12th class result, and he'll apply for the same. So thank you for a positive reply, and positive response. So we'll definitely look into your case and get you admitted in Medicine Hat College. And there are a lot of, we represent more than 200 institutes globally, and more than 80 institutes in Canada. Most of them are public institutes, universities and colleges in Canada. And we are very, very grateful that colleges believe to work with us very, very closely. So Clara, in the end, I like to ask you to tell us which are the key points, and in the end, what do you want to tell our viewers?
Sorry, I think, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, in the end, as we are nearing to the end of our session, would you like to give us some, touch base notes about your college, or what will you advise to the students?
So, like I mentioned before, Medicine Hat College is a very great college to go to. It is a public institution, so you will be able to apply for a postgraduate work permit, and then also the fact that there's a lot of part-time job opportunities as well, and also it's a great college. It's not too far from Calgary. I know that a lot of the students are seeking bigger cities, but bigger cities doesn't necessarily mean, opportunities. So I would recommend Medicine Hat College, especially because of the affordability.
So definitely. So thank you so much, Clara, for coming to our live session. We'll be connecting with you time to time to give our students and their parents information directly from yourself. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.